Hello, my beautiful beloveds. Welcome back to my third YouTube flow class. Really excited. You guys have, or y'all have continued to support and follow my yoga flows on YouTube, and when I send them to you, it just really shows that the human consciousness is, it wants more. And it supports what you do as a person, and collectively wants all of us to be better. Again, speaking mostly from my own perspective, and everyone's different objectively to the subjective nature of the universe as unique beings, but I really think that I feel that this is it. The time is now to change your life, revolutionize these habits, make deep connections with everyone else. I mean, there's 8 billion of us. 8 billion of this, of you, doing so much. And deep down inside, whether we want to admit it or not, we really want to connect, and we want to share with each other, just like our ancestors did for the last 12,000 years. I mean, we're working with the same brain, the same body as those ancestors that passed down this line of genetics to us right now. So I guess what I'm really trying to say in this introduction to my third class on this YouTube series is helping yourself find alignment, and helping we really come together nicely. So we're constantly fighting this entropy, and entropy is the inherent chaos of the universe. A lot of scientists say we're just going to eventually dissipate. All our molecules and our atoms totally separate, blow apart, until we become stillness for trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years, until it all compresses, smushes together in one infinite point or Planck threshold, and then starts the process again for infinity. And to combat the entropy that we're dealing with now, the exhale, if you will, how everything is expanding. So when you exhale, you push that air out. You push that oxygen away from you, and you come closer to death, because the oxygen in your body is technically in lower amount. So your brain doesn't work as fast, your heart is not going to work as properly. You're a step closer to death, even though you're not, normally dying to what we understand in current, normative modes of functioning. But we aren't dying either in entropy. We're just leading to the inhale, which in the grand perspective of everything across, time and space, is trillions of years. And our inhale and exhale happens to be, a few seconds if we wish. Longer, hopefully, once we start, really focusing on pranayama. So I think this flow is dedicated to the alignment of self through nature, through the sacred way that molecules align themselves with the golden ratio, with the way plants grow naturally, the way the landscapes are formed by these natural phenomena on the earth that we've grown up with as ancestral kids, and passed down through the stories of, epigenetics and oral tradition and history itself, math, sciences. I really think we're able to transcend this trauma and this pain that we keep clinging on to, whatever that looks like, and manifests in your life, and throw that into the ancestral fire, let it be recycled, let it be broken down, and so we can inhale, breathe in life, a new sense of perspective to our current condition and our daily habitual practices. So again, alignment of self, of mind, of body, of breath, the synchronization of everything together. through nature, not just plants, but through the ratio of which that is done, which is 1.618, the golden ratio, we'll really be able to find ourselves, heal ourselves, connect a little deeper, and bring that negentropy in to combat the entropy that we're inevitably dealing with, whether we want to agree with it or not, bring conscious awareness to it or not. The universe is exhaling and things are chaotic and molecules are flying apart and things are burning and eviscerating and constantly being recycled. And so this negentropic way of understanding life and really feeling into the deepest parts of who you are and understanding that full spectrum is the theme of today's class. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking that necessary step to really make a difference in your life. And thanks for, choosing me and trusting me to help you with that. Obviously, all of this is my own personal practice, and you should integrate what is meaningful to you in your own way. But I really highly encourage you to just listen to my voice as I guide you through our body, our breath, and mental visualizations, and hopefully we synchronize that all, and that you can feel a little more golden and a little more aligned through the sacred nature of existing. So if you have not already come into easy pose or seated, cross-legged, they call it sukhasana, an ancient tradition of yoga. Just find a comfortable seated position on your mat. You can roll your mat out in any way you want, and just comfortably sit and make your place comfortable. You can use blocks or props or straps in today's class, because it'll mostly be hatha with a little bit of vinyasa flow here and there. But hatha means a style of yoga which you have 3 to 4 breaths per pose. So long, poses that stretch your body, really heal deeply, and a few cycles of breath for each one. So props will help aid in, any discomfort or pain, which if that does arise, usually you just want to lessen the stretch, listen to your body, and make sure you're not hurting yourself. So without further ado, getting into Sukhasana, let's just bring our awareness to our breath. I encourage you to close your eyes and simply breathe. Not changing the way you naturally find yourself breathing right now in this moment, but just inhaling naturally, watching your chest rise and your diaphragm expand, and exhale, letting the air flow out of your chest, out of your throat, out of your mouth, finally back into the universal prana pool, the conscious collective of ethereal energy that swirls ambiently around us every moment. Again, just taking slow, non-controlled breaths at your own pace. Every time your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath. The physical movement of your chest, inhaling, expanding, creating space in your body. And exhaling, contracting, compressing into your smaller form. With every inhale, maybe starting to feel a little brighter, a little happier. And every exhale, maybe releasing thoughts or notions or ideas that no longer help you be the person you need to be today. And on our next inhale, maybe expanding your chest a little further, raising your chest a little higher. Opening that breath a little deeper, allowing more oxygen to flow in. Holding it for a second at the top of the breath, and then open mouth, exhale. Letting that heat, the energy, giving it back to the universe all around us. Again, inhaling, bringing that energy in, really using the best of your lung capacity to oxygenate your blood and your brain. And open mouth, exhale, making an audible sound, letting it all go. Let's do this a few more times at your own pace. Preferably your inhale, 2 to 3 to 4 seconds long. And your exhale, maybe double the length of your inhale, 4, 6, 8 seconds long, depending on what's your practice today. Just finding a happy rhythm that you can be consistent with in your breath. Something that's realistic to you in today's practice and what you need to get out of our yoga flow today. Again, if my intention for the class doesn't speak to you as strongly, feel free to set your own intention now in the beginning of today's class and constantly reintegrate it every time you bring awareness back into your breath, to bring that drizdi or your mental focus back to the point of why you're doing all of this right now and joining me in the conscious collective and healing our bodies and strengthening our breath. So inhale, creating space, holding space for yourself and your emotions as you process the world around you. And exhale, just release, letting it all go. And on the next breath, I encourage you to bring and drink all that energy in from the universe around you, picturing it as a white light surging into your body, filling the entirety of your form. And exhale, releasing, letting that white light and that energy just flow back through your root chakra or the base of your spine to Pachamama, or Mother Earth, or Gaia below us. And so with every inhale, we drink that white light in, supercharging our bodies with electricity and light and love. And exhale, releasing, giving that energy recycled back to Pachamama. Not keeping it for us just yet, but respectfully giving it back just like we were once given. Picturing this white light through your body and recycling it back down to the earth at your own pace for a few more breaths. If you know what you're doing, feel free to activate that Kundalini energy and let that tingling and buzzing crawl up your spine and travel around your body. And if this is your first time doing yoga or meditating and don't know all these concepts and terms, just know that the electricity or the energy inside your body that gets channeled through our spine and our nervous system gets supercharged with oxygen. And with every deep breath that we bring that oxygen in and channel it through our spine, along our spinal column, all these nerves and these endings and these synapse connections to our brain, you're giving oxygen and life and nutrients to these critical functioning structures of the human body. So do yourself a favor and breathe. Not only in this class, but breathe in those moments where you forget to, where you want to respond in an angry way, where you want to shout at that really rude person and that awful human that did something terrible that you don't understand in the moment, but that you are consciously working on to be more aware, to be a deeper part of the information exchange that we call the human network. And on our next breath, once we really find ourselves being comfortable in our own consciousness, in our own psyche in today's class, I'm going to teach you how to activate your ujjayi breath. This is also called warrior's breath or ocean's breath. It's a type of rhythmic breathing that we use in yoga to pedal through, to push through the really hard, difficult poses, the really intense sensations of discomfort and pain that may arise as we contract and release and stretch and pull and bend at our bodies. This warrior's breath is simply inhaling through your nose, sealing your lips, and pushing that air out through a constricted nose, through a constricted throat, and back out your nose once again. So sealing your lips, inhale, bringing that air in through your nose, oxygen, inhale. And sealing those lips, and with a constricted throat, exhaling, pushing that air out. Almost if you were fogging up a mirror that was underneath your nose, or that Darth Vader sound he makes when he breathes. One more time, inhale. And exhale out your nose. Squeezing your diaphragm, pushing that air out your core, out your lungs, and out your nose. Let's do a few at our own breath here, continuing that ujjayi breath, or that warrior's breath, in through your nose. And out through your nose once again. The longer, the more controlled the deep diaphragmic breathing is, the more relaxed, the more at peace your brain and your body will be. When you activate this deep diaphragmic breathing, you are putting your body into its parasympathetic nervous system. One of the two forms of functioning that our nervous system likes to use. These are two different highways for these electrical activities to channel information and sensation. So the parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and our digest, or our feed and our breed. And these allow for lower cortisol levels, lower stress levels to penetrate our bodies, and relaxes us, giving us serotonin and putting us into that bliss-like state. So let's do a few more rounds of breath here, either ujjayi or resorting to open mouth exhales, releasing that energy if need, and just connecting to our breath. Encourage you to open your eyes, slowly letting that light back in. And let's engage our optical flow. Let's swing our legs out behind us from our seated position, getting into child's pose or balasana. Feel free to adjust your mat at all throughout today's practice, giving yourself that really beautiful, much needed awareness of the space around you at any moment. Again, let's put our toes touching together out behind us near the end of the mat. Let's spread our knees mat width apart. Let's take our hands, spread them like starfish, activating all 10 fingers, walking our hands down towards the front of the mat. You can adjust and untuck your toes onto the mat, sinking your hips back down onto your ankles, trying to keep your back toes touched. And slowly walking your hands forward, sinking your chest into the earth. And finally, placing your forehead or your third eye onto the mat, connecting to the earth and the ground below you. And breathe. Either regular, open mouth exhales or your ujjayi breath if you wish, whatever's in your practice today. Let's hold this for about 4 to 5 breaths. Continuing your breaths at your own pace. Anytime you forget to bring your intention and your awareness back to your breath, just simply bring it to the forefront of your mind. Inhaling, bringing awareness to your chest and your lungs, creating space in your back. And exhaling, releasing, letting it all go back to Pachamama on the earth below you. And bringing your awareness to the intention of today's class, either mine, suggested, or your own. It's no right or wrong to do any of this. It's constantly using your mental power and your focus to synchronize your body, your breath, and that mental power we all hold inside. A few more cycles of breath here. Inhale, creating space in our back and our hips. You may feel sensations of soreness and discomfort arise. This is normal. Again, finding strength in that breath and your mental focus. One more breath here. Inhale. Slowly walking our hands, lifting our head off the mat. Walking them back towards our bodies and to our knees. Raising our hips off our ankles. If you feel sore or any pain and discomfort, just go slow. Especially if you haven't done this in a while. We're all at our own pace here in life. Let's come to a neutral tabletop position. Again, pressing all 10 fingers like starfish into the earth. Rotating the eyes of our elbows towards the front of the mat. Stacking our shoulders over our elbows, over our wrists that are pressed into the earth, activated. And let's stack our hips over our knees, untucking our toes, and finding a neutral tabletop position. You can have your gaze neutral down below the mat in front of you. Great job. And on our next inhale, let's push up to downward facing dog. Tucking your toes, sending your hips up to the sky, sinking your chest and head, neck, and shoulders down to the earth. The first downward dog of the class, so feel free to bend your knees or walk your dog out if this is too intense. Yeah, listen to your body today. Make any micro movements you feel is necessary that will serve your body in healing and growing. Finding that alignment in your own natural self while we flow, we breathe, and we focus on what's important in our lives. Let's sink a little deeper into the earth. Exhale, creating space in our spine and our hamstrings. And on the next exhale, let's come back down to neutral tabletop. Taking a moment here to catch our breath and relax. And on our next inhale, push up the downward dog once again. Again, making any movements you feel is necessary, walking your dog, giving yourself a generous bend, and just sinking your heart to the earth, letting your head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy. And let's walk our feet up towards our hands for forward fold, Uttanasana, and release, let it all go. Feel free to grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. And exhale, release. The arms, forward fold. A few more cycles of breath here. Inhale.
Creating space in our back, in our head, neck, and shoulders as they hang heavy towards the earth. Maybe activating all 10 toes into the mat. Checking your alignment to see if your feet are parallel to each other. And really give yourself one more release. Exhale. And let's inhale, raising up to halfway lift. Flat back, keeping your palms on your shins, avoiding your knee. Or you can go to your thighs if that's in your practice today. Breathe. Smile. Be grateful you showed up to my class today. You're getting that self-love and attention that you need. Breathing in. And then exhaling, release back down to forward fold, Uttanasana. And let's slowly rise, vertebrae by vertebrae, up to standing or mountain pose, head, neck, and shoulders last. And if you wish, you can keep your arms out to the side. And let's check in with our posture. Our feet parallel to each other in the length of the mat. Our knees stacked over our ankles, our hips stacked over our knees. Activating your core, squeezing it in, pushing that navel to your spine, shining that chest towards the sky and the heavens, keeping your gaze neutral ahead at you. And just keep our arms out to the side, or you can bring them overhead, palms together. And exhale, bringing them back down over your third eye, over your throat, to your heart for Anjali Mudra at Anahata Chakra. And let's take a moment here to close our eyes and resume to either our Ujjayi breath or just regular breathing. And let's do this for about 4 to 5 breaths, reintegrating our intention and our awareness to this practice. So now that we've taken a few breaths here in Tadasana and found ourselves really strong in our posture and in our stance, and we've reintegrated our intention and brought awareness to our breath, let's flow through our warrior series. Through our sun salutations. This is Surya Namaskar, which is a way to warm up your body before we do other poses that are maybe a little more intense. So a sun salutation is meant to do as one of the first yoga flows of a class or your daily practice, and also done at night in response to before you go to bed. So sun salutations were traditionally done as the sun rises, and I believe you would do at least 9 to 10. That's what the yoga teacher training told me. And then again, at night, you would do 9 to 10 as the sun sets to really warm up your spine or set yourself right for the last few movements of the day. So getting into Tadasana, if you're not already there, feel free to keep your eyes closed as I will guide you with my voice. If your hands are heart center or not, bring them there. Palms facing inwards, Anjali Mudra, Anahata Chakra. And let's inhale, arms out to the side, overhead. Filling our chest and our lungs with air and oxygen, creating space, palms together over our head. And let's do an upward salute, so keeping our arms parallel, pinky slightly inward for Urdhva Hastasana. And hold this for a few cycles of breath here, shining your chest towards the heavens. Creating space in our chest and our lungs and our back, squeezing those shoulders into our ears. Keep your arms parallel, again, pinky slightly inward. Let's exhale, forward fold, slowly bringing that energy down, hinging at the hips. Bringing your hands down to the earth, letting your head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy. Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a few breaths here. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, let's plant our palms down to the earth for high plank, Pacharangasana. And let's go down to the earth, Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping our elbows tucked into the sides. Slowly releasing our body to the earth. Exhale. And find yourself all the way down at the earth. And let's take our cheek and put it onto the earth. Relaxing our hands out to the side, releasing all tension. And then let's just take a few cycles of breath here, connecting to Pachamama. If this is uncomfortable, feel free to switch cheeks to the other side. Or if it's in your practice today, you can just keep your forehead on the mat to connect your third eye with the earth. A few more breaths here in this simple pronate pose. And on the next inhale, let's raise our head a little higher off the mat. Let's take our hands for baby cobra pose, placing them, our fingers spread into the earth, right next to our chest, right to the sides, elbows tucked in to our sides. And on the next inhale, let's slowly raise our chest off of the mat. And exhale, come back down. Great job, either putting one cheek or the other on the mat, or your third eye. Inhale, baby cobra. Slightly bring your chest off the mat. And exhale, other side, other cheek. Very good job. And once more, inhale, come back to the middle. Baby cobra. And exhale, release. On the next inhale, we're going to do upward facing dog. Inhale, pressing your chest off of the earth. Extending your arms, making sure your fingers are spread. And for full expression, you can raise your raise your thighs off of the earth and off of the mat. Zippering your legs together, and ideally you want your toes back like that. And shining that chest up. Inhale. Good job. And exhale, downward facing dog, tucking your toes into the earth, sending those hips up into the air. For Adho Mukha Svanasana, our three-legged dog. Notice the difference between this, downward dog. Notice the difference between this downward dog and the first one of the class. Does your body feel different? Are there different sensations or emotions arising? And if so, appreciate that. Notice how this flow of yoga and alignment through nature and your natural self helps you just feel better overall. Lightening your mood, de-stressing yourself and your body, and making your body feel tingly and good. Exhale, pushing it a little deeper into the earth, sinking that chest. And let's inhale, walking our feet towards our hands, forward fold, Uttanasana. Letting it all go to Mother Earth. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, side to side, rocking back and forth for Ragdoll. Again, trying to keep your feet parallel to each other, your toes at the same height, your knees in symmetry and balance. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, gaze neutral down in front of you at the mat, and exhale, forward fold, release, Uttanasana, let it all go, back to Pachamama. Let's make a few more sways side to side, maybe touching the mat and the earth like if it was water in a stream or sand on a beach. And bringing that energy from the earth up through our body. Let's inhale all the way up to mountain pose or Tadasana as we complete our first sun salutation of the class. Arms overhead, you do palms together for Anjali Mudra. Exhale, bringing that down to your third eye, past your mouth, to your heart center. And let's do our second sun salutation. Again, some of the poses will be a little different, but just listen to my voice and my commands and just flow. Let's do inhale, upward salute. And exhale this time. Let's do a slight back bend and cactusing our arms. Shining our chest towards the heavens. Exhale. And inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting your palms, high plank. Phalangasana. Continuing that journey down to the earth. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Keeping your elbows tucked in. Slowly, with controlled movements, going down to the earth. This time, skipping baby cobra and just going straight to upward facing dog. Inhale, pushing your chest off of the earth. And for full expression, zipping your legs together and bringing your thighs off of the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog, tucking your toes, sending your hips towards the sky, sinking your chest into the earth, letting your head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy. Again, feel free to walk your dog, make any movements side to side, anything you feel is necessary for your class today. And on our next inhale, let's walk our feet towards our hands, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, vertebrae by vertebrae, head, neck, and shoulders last. To Tadasana, or Mountain's Pose. Take a moment here to scan your body, check in with yourself, and bring awareness to our intention once again. Alignment. What does alignment look like you in your daily life? What type of actions and decisions do you need to make as a person to feel aligned in whatever that looks like for you? After taking that moment to reintegrate our intention, bring our awareness back to our breath, let's do one more sun salutation. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, cactus your arms, slight back bend. Inhale, upward salute. And forward fold, Uttanasana, let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. This time planting your palms for high plank or Phalangasana. And let's go all the way down to the earth, continuing that vinyasa flow to our chaturanga dandasana. Exhale. And then let's inhale, shining that chest, upward facing dog. Full expression coming off the mat. And exhale, tucking your toes, sending your hips, downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. And completing our journey, let's walk our feet towards our hands, forward fold, coming back up slowly. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to Tadasana, head, neck, and shoulders last. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Palms overhead. Hands, palms facing inwards for Anjali Mudra. Inhale, raising, shining that chest, possibly doing upward salute if you wish, with your arms parallel to each other, pinky slightly inward. Let's exhale, cactus our arms, slight back bend, and inhale, upward salute. And exhale, palms together, back down to heart center, Anjali Mudra, heart chakra, Anahata. Great job. And notice the difference between the beginning of the class and right now, how you're feeling and what your body is sensing and what your mind is telling you. And just simply observe. Throughout our whole practice of yoga, we should be scanning and observing our body and our mental state. Again, using that mental focus to really find out what's important and your consciousness and your flow for today's class. And then when you're ready, let's just slowly find our way back down to the earth. Let's get into a seated position with our feet out in front of us, activating all 10 toes, pressing them into the earth. We do a little bit of core. One of my favorite, Naranjanasana, because it's one of the only core I know still. And let's just slowly sink back down to the earth, activating our core. We want to squeeze our navel into our spine, really activating that whole section of our abdomen, pressing our toes into the earth, slowly with controlled movements, coming back, keeping a nice bench, 90 degree in your knees, keeping a nice 45-degree angle from the mat to our back. If this is too difficult, you can always put your hands behind you near your hips for support. Or if it's not challenging enough, you can put your arms parallel to the earth, out to the side. Palms facing down to receive energy, palms facing up to express and give energy back to the earth. Let's hold it for a few cycles of breath here, activating our core and our diaphragm, finding strength in our breath. Inhale. And exhale, sink a little deeper. Good job. Inhale. And exhale. On our next inhale, let's bring that right leg up into the air, making it parallel to the earth and pushing our toe towards the front of the room, flexing that foot and that ankle. And exhale, bring it back down to the earth. Good job. Keeping our core activated and our navel squeezed into our spine. Inhale, other leg. And exhale, release back down to the earth. Good job. Let's do this a few more times at your own pace. Inhale, right leg. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Good job. Right leg. Left leg. And one last time. Right leg, inhale. And left leg, inhale. Great job. Let's slowly continue that journey back down to the earth, releasing our legs and our arms for a little bit of supine twist. On our next inhale, let's take that right leg, bring it up into the air. And exhale, slowly bringing it across our body. Every inhale, we lengthen and lift. Every exhale, we sink deeper into our stretch, keeping our shoulders pressed onto the mat. Feel free to use your left hand to guide that right knee across your body as you continue your spinal twist. Ideally, you want your right arm out to the side. And for full expression, turning your gaze to your right hand. And let's hold this for 3 or 4 breaths, just really inviting space into our spine, in our back, and in our body. Maybe if feelings of discomfort or sensations of pain arise, find strength in your breath and your intention for today's class, and knowing that you are being aligned right now. You're being aligned in the most natural way you can, in the most free-flowing and psychedelic fashion that you could allow your body and brain to do. So inhale that love for yourself, creating space, lengthening and lifting that body. And exhale, sink a little deeper into that stretch, releasing anything that no longer serves us in this current form. Let's do one more breath here. Inhale, really make it count. And exhale, let's release that leg slowly back into the air, bringing it across our right side body. Releasing our head, neck, and shoulders, coming back up to the neutral. Inhale, raising that leg right into the air. And exhale, slowly releasing it back down to the earth. Let's just take a cycle of breath here or two to relax and find ourselves grounded. And let's do our next side, left side spinal twist, supine spinal twist to be exact. So on our next inhale, let's bring our left leg into the air. Lengthening and lifting, and exhale, slowly bringing that left leg across our right side body. And you can always feel free to use your right hand to guide that right knee across the body. Extending your left arm out to the side. Bring your gaze to that left hand for full expression. Every inhale, we lengthen and lift. Every exhale, we slowly sink deeper into that spinal twist. Let's hold this for like about 3 more breaths, 3 to 4 breaths at your own pace. Either ujjayi or open mouth exhales. One more breath here, inhale. Really stretching deeply into the last bit of the stretch. And exhale, releasing that leg slowly back across our body. Inhale, bringing it a little higher into the air. And exhale, dropping it all the way down to the earth. Great job. On our next inhale, let's get into happy baby before we get into our final relaxation or our final savasana. So inhale, bring your legs up into the air, taking your hands, grabbing ankles, and let's just rock side to side, massaging our lower back muscles, pushing those feet and those legs down to the earth, opening up our hips one last final time. Great job. One more inhale here, really making the most of this last stretch before our final relaxation of Savasana. And inhale, let's release. Exhale, back down to the earth. Extending your feet out to the front of you, your arms out to the side, relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders, letting your body melt into the mat. Closing your eyes, finding that awesome, relaxed, final resting position as we die to our old selves. And again, close your eyes and just listen to my voice. Every inhale, you're dissolving your body. Every exhale, dissolving your mind. Every inhale, you dissolve your body. Every exhale, you dissolve your mind, releasing any tension in your muscles that you're holding on to. Any final worries or anxieties that aren't meant to serve you today in your flow, aren't meant to serve you ever in your life. Every inhale, we dissolve our body. Every exhale, we dissolve our minds. So we flow into the ethereal realm, being washed and swallowed up by the ocean of consciousness. Just continue to surrender any feelings or sensations that arise, losing the sensation of your body and floating into the ethereal realm. Maybe picturing a glassy black ocean at night that's reflecting all the stars. Not being able to tell the difference if you're floating in space, or floating in a highly reflective black ocean at night. Just being caressed and guided
and comforted by Father Time and the ethereal space clouds around us. Just inhale, drinking that healing vibrational energy from the ethers around us. In Savasana, we die to our old self. And here we leave our form and we astrally project into the universal form that we all came from, that we all share, and that you can return to at any time to heal yourself and your mind and your body. Maybe try to remember what it felt like before you were born. Maybe that's what it feels like to be healed and caressed into the ethereal realms of which we came. No stress, no sensation, just being. Not a memory, but a knowing. Drinking that deep healing vibrational energy into our forms and into our lives. All the stars around us buzzing and vibrating, sending us molecular nutrients and solar radiation to warm and energize our bodies. Just taking as long as you need here to soak up and bathe in the aligning energy of the Akashic realm. Here is the ultimate form of nature, where we can finally truly be aligned to the sacred geometry of the crystalline lattice that is in every pixel of information, that is in every photon, that is in every hydrogen atom, that is in every electron that gets passed between solid and non-solid matter. They're mostly made up of vibration. Space is in between the atoms. So really feel that space. Feel that chi. Feel that primordial energy with love and with light and what you need to continue your flow and your practice of consciousness today. One big final breath here, inhaling the last bit of love from the universe all around us. And exhale, releasing it all back, recycling it for it to be purified. And on our next inhale, I encourage you to maybe wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers, bringing awareness back into your physical form. Just slowly pulling yourself out of the waters of the universal space-time continuum. And with every inhale, we rebuild our bodies. And every exhale, we rebuild our mind with it, taking on new form, new life after today's practice. Every inhale, we rebuild our bodies. Every exhale, we rebuild our minds. And with every breath, we recreate the story of who we are and who we want to be. So inhale life, rejuvenation, and healing. And exhale any story that no longer tells the proper form of who you are in today's day and age. On our next inhale, let's maybe stretch our arms overhead. Make movements side to side, wiggling our feet and our ankles, bringing movement and life back into our arms and legs. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, let's roll over to one side for fetal position, using your arm and bicep as a pillow, crunching into a little ball, that fetal position that we were all created and gestated in our mother's womb as. Savasana being corpse pose, being the last final healing pose we do to end our practice. Fetal position is one of the first poses we ever partake in as our physical form condensates and materializes around our precious, precious soul coming down off of the ethereal plane. Those many, many years ago when you were being born. So inhale any last bit of love and light before you're reborn into this consciousness. And exhale, let it all go. And on the next breath, let's just slowly, using our arms, push ourselves up out of fetal position and come to Sukhasana, or easy pose, cross-legged. Either keeping your eyes closed or feel free to open them back up. Taking a moment to let all the light back into our eyes as we finish our optical flow, our natural healing alignment. The light, the love, the conscious understanding, and the universal constants in me is the light, the love, the understanding and universal constants in you. Namaste, one love. I just really want to say thank you deeply for participating in today's class, and I'm really excited to see you at my next one. So have a blessed day, and welcome to the alignment.